Hello, everybody. We are at World Hydrogen Week in Copenhagen. My name is Mukerji, and I am the lead for ammonia and nitrogen at S&P Global Commodity Insights. I'm joined here today with Nicolas Marti, and he is the European Sales Manager for Hydrogen and CCUS at Emerson. Welcome, and thanks for taking the time to speak to us today. Just to kick things off, can you tell us a little bit about Emerson and what you do for the company?
Yeah, sure. So I'm dealing the development for green hydrogen, carbon capture, and also all the derivative in Europe. I took this journey a bit 10 years ago, and we are happy to be in Copenhagen. We were in Rotterdam previous years. Emerson is an automation company where we deliver three layouts, so from product, edge, DCS, and also software. We just acquired AspenTech, which is a major acquisition for us, who can jump for us to a new software technology for advanced process control, data collection, and improved process. So we come from oil and gas. We have know how to handle big projects, refineries, and so on. At the moment, green hydrogen is not so big, but I think that's the right time, and we have references to make that happen with a tool to execute better projects and to de-risk project. That's the goal.
Thank you so much. So how would you describe the current landscape for hydrogen, and what are the main opportunities that you're seeing?
I think that's a new market. It was a big wave. Everybody was talking about hydrogen. Still, that's the case. Maybe it's like a solar panel or nuclear. It started at some point, and it needs to be mature. So we are discussing about gigawatts. Let's start with a proof of concept. I guess my journey started 10 years ago with discussing with a skid player, electrolyzer player. We are doing everything. Now that's a part of the business. We help them to execute project on time, one-stop shop, to reduce the number of product, to make sure they ship on time. But then I'm seeing two phases. Prototyping phase, proof of concept, like 20 to 40 megawatts. Now there are several projects moving forward like that. And that's important because they need to make it happen, optimize, to go to the next step. Couple of projects where we're part, 200 megawatts, green hydrogen, and some derivative. You need to change stuff. Architecture of automation is key, and we have something to help the ecosystem to develop.
Thank you. So you mentioned you're working on quite a number of projects. One of the big topics of this conference is talking about what the challenges are to reach FID. From your perspective, what can you tell us about that?
So I've pitched some quite interesting topic. It's really to de-risk the project because we could look like oil and gas market. It's really straightforward. Since 50 years, it's work. Everybody knows how that works when there is an investment because there is a return very soon. The return is something where we don't know where that is. So that's important to make the investment to have a return as soon as possible and to reduce with time the incentive. Incentive is 20-25% or even more. But that's just the beginning. And at the moment, that's really, I guess, the bottleneck is really to make sure we can de-risk. By doing so, Emerson, we have a project certainty approach, which is called, and we are doing collaborative workshop from decision maker at the early stage. Where are you challenged? Where do you want to go? Do you have an off-take agreement? Do you have a good electricity price, PPA agreement, or free energy? There is a lot of free energy everywhere with renewable power. They are wasting it. Let's make sure you use it and you provide energy, hydrogen or whatever, and then ammonia at the right time. So I think that's important to involve an automation player like Emerson, really early stage to really de-risk those projects and make the funding decision available.
And you mentioned you've been involved in this space for over 10 years now. How have things changed, and is enough being done on the regulatory side of things to really provide support for a number of these projects that you guys are leading?
That's a very good question, and I think I started with playing with a below 1 megawatt electrolyzer. It was a PEM electrolysis in Europe, Belgium one. Maybe everybody's remembering those guys. and that was already big and a lot of pipe, valves, and everything. So we had the chance to discuss technically or to get that even better. Now we discuss 10 megawatts stacks. Some players are doing 17 megawatt and 20. Yeah, that's what we have been dealing with, and that's changing. So we really are changing where the electrolyzer were doing a lot of stuff. Now they are embedded in a project. So the engineering, the oil and gas engineering are jumping in to make the project executed well, and on time. And that's a good sign for everybody. We are seeing, I guess, maybe less people, but the real people who are doing the project to be executed. So that's I'm very enthusiastic, and maybe from what we learned those 2 days, projects are increasing. The number of projects are increasing still more than last year, and next year that will be more.
And selfishly, just from the ammonia side of things, are there any projects that you can tell us about that Emerson are working on?
Definitely. So ammonia is a mature business. You are working this segment, and the fertilizer are using gray hydrogen. So we don't really like, but at the moment, that's the only possible way to meet the target in terms of pricing. So they need to make it happen. That's one of our main market in Emerson, ammonia market with Delta V, which is the brand for DCS. And there are some investments. So whether you pull full power green hydrogen, I think definitely that's not the solution, because end user, they need 1 gigawatt per factory. So who can support 1 gigawatt of production tomorrow? Not a lot of players. So that will be possible in maybe in 5 years or 10. But now it's to maybe use 10% or 20%, or maybe to decarbonize in some segment the steam methane reforming with carbon capture to make it blue. So those segments is really definitely a way to make the green hydrogen viable into a fuel ecosystem. And ammonia is also safe to carry. It's simpler. It's minus 40 Celsius, so it's easy to carry from a production to the site. So there are some advantage with ammonia development,
especially with all of the existing infrastructure that can be leveraged to some degree as well. Yes. Okay, so really to wrap up here, are there any main takeaways that you have from the conference that you can share with our audience?
Sure, yeah. As a wrap out, that's great to have this discussion all together. It's not less people, but the people who's going to make it happen are there. That's important to really make that as an ecosystem. That's the work is a bit changing with the past, and we need to really be collaborative. I think we need even to put greening our society as a key to make that happen. That's myself what I like in my role. I started with oil and gas, but now since 10 years it's really decarbonization. There is no other way to doing that. So that's good. We do that with Emerson, and also Emerson is really willing to do that between any geopolitical instability. Our group is really committed to make that happen. So collaboration, I think, is the key, and we would like to participate in this game.
There you go. So we've got collaboration. Well, Nicolas, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us, and thank you very much for listening.